From a flicker of candlelight in 1789 to the glare of modern screens in the West Wing, every president has held the pen. Executive orders not passed by Congress, but etched into law by command. Some shaped history. Some sparked controversy. Others were forgotten. Until now. This is where we break them down. Every signature, every shift in power, every consequence still felt today. From Washington to Biden, welcome to Executive Order Watch.
Democracy, we live for it. For democracy, we fight for it. For democracy, we've died for it. And for democracy, we watch it. This is Executive Order Watch.
My fellow Americans, 1984. To some, it was just another election year. To me, it was a defining moment, not just for my presidency, but for the soul of this country. We were no longer a nation on its knees. By 1984, America was rising again. The economy was roaring back to life. Inflation had been broken. Interest rates were falling. Job creation surged. Across towns, cities, and heartland fields, you could feel it, the quiet confidence that this country was ready to lead again, and lead we did. The gross domestic product grew by more than 6% that year. Over 3 million new jobs were created. People called it the Reagan recovery, but it wasn't mine alone. It was the product of your hard work, your grit, your belief in something better. Still, it didn't come without criticism. I heard it every day. They said my tax cuts favored the rich. They said deregulation would lead to disaster. But I knew then, and I know now, the American people don't need more red tape and restrictions. They need opportunity. I governed in 1984 with the same principles that guided me since my first day in office: smaller government, stronger defense, and a restored sense of American pride. That year, we showed the world who we were. The Summer Olympics in Los Angeles wasn't just a sporting event. It was a stage for freedom. Soviet Union boycotted. We didn't flinch. Our athletes carried our values with every race, every throw, every medal. On the international stage, the Cold War didn't cool, but our resolve didn't weaken. I stood firm in my belief that peace could only be preserved through strength. We advanced strategic defense initiatives. We fortified alliances. And when critics called it escalation, I called it deterrence. In November, the American people gave me something no poll, no headline, and no speech ever could: a landslide re-election. 49 states. Not because they agreed with everything I did, but because they believed in where we were headed. But 1984 wasn't just about victory. It was about vision. I acted not as a caretaker of decline, but as a steward of renewal. I challenged a nation not to settle for less, but to dream bigger, work harder, and stand taller. And as we step forward, we'll take a closer look at the executive orders signed that year. Some quiet, some bold, all part of that vision. Each one a brushstroke in the portrait of a freer, stronger America. Let's begin. Executive Order 12,457 President's Commission on Industrial Competitiveness on January 3, 1984. Executive Order 12,458. Delegation to the Secretary of State concerning foreign assistance on January 14, 1984. Executive Order 12,459, amending the Generalized System of Preferences on January 16, 1984. Executive Order 12,460, amendments to the Manual for Courts-Martial, United States, 1969, revised edition, on January 24, 1984. Executive Order 12,461, designating a federal retirement system under Pub. L 98-168 on February 17, 1984. Executive Order 12,462, President's Advisory Committee on Mediation and Conciliation on February 17, 1984. Executive Order 12,463, Nuclear Cooperation with Euratom on February 23, 1984. Executive Order 12,464 award of the Purple Heart on February 23, 1984. Executive Order 12,465. Commercial expendable launch vehicle activities on February 24, 1984. Executive Order 12,466 reimbursement of federal employee relocation expenses on February 27, 1984. Executive Order 12,467 International Boundary and Water Commission, United States and Mexico on March 2, 1984. Executive Order 12,468 Presidential Advisory Council on the Peace Corps on March 22, 1984. Executive Order 12,469 East-West Foreign Trade Report on March 26, 1984. Executive Order 12,470 Continuation of Export Control Regulations on March 30, 1984. Executive Order 12,471 Amending the Generalized System of Preferences on March 30, 1984. Executive Order 12,472 Assignment of National Security and Emergency Preparedness Telecommunications Functions on April 3, 1984. Executive Order 12,473 Courts-Martial Manual, United States, 1984, on April 13, 1984. Executive Order 12,474 Agreement on Government Procurement on April 17, 1984. Executive Order 12,475 Textile Import Program Implementation on May 9, 1984. Executive Order 12,476 Presidential Commission on the Conduct of United States-Japan Relations on May 11, 1984. Executive Order 12,477 Adjustments of Certain Rates of Pay on May 23, 1984. Executive Order 12,478 Transfer of Authority to the Secretary of State to make reimbursements for protection of foreign missions to international organizations on May 23, 1984. Executive Order 12,479 Management Reform in the Federal Government on May 24, 1984. Executive Order 12,480. Establishing an emergency board to investigate a dispute between the Long Island Railroad and the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers on June 20, 1984. Executive Order 12,481. Establishing an emergency board to investigate a dispute between the Long Island Railroad and the Brotherhood of Railway, Airline, and Steamship Clerks, Freight Handlers, Express, and Station Employees on June 20, 1984. Executive Order 12,482 President's Advisory Committee on Women's Business Ownership on June 21, 1984. Executive Order 12,483. Amending the Generalized System of Preferences on June 25, 1984. Executive Order 12,484 Amendments to the Manual for Courts-Martial, United States, 1984 on July 13, 1984. Executive Order 12,485 Central Intelligence Agency Retirement and Disability System on July 13, 1984. Executive Order 12,486 Establishing an Emergency Board to investigate a dispute between Port Authority Trans-Hudson Corporation and the Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen on August 24, 1984. Executive Order 12,487 Adjustments of Certain Rates of Pay on September 14, 1984. Executive Order 12,488, amending Executive Order Number 11,157 as it relates to incentive pay for hazardous duty on September 27, 1984. Executive Order 12,489, continuance of certain federal advisory committees on September 28, 1984. Executive Order 12,490, National Commission on Space on October 12, 1984. Executive Order 12,491, establishing an emergency board to investigate a dispute between the Long Island Railroad and the Brotherhood of Locomotive Engineers on October 25, 1984. Executive Order 12,492, establishing an emergency board to investigate a dispute between the Long Island Railroad and the Brotherhood of Railway, Airline, and Steamship Clerks, Freight Handlers, Express, and Station Employees on October 25, 1984. Executive Order 12,493. 493 President's Commission on Executive Exchange on December 5, 1984, Executive Order 12,494, amending Executive Order number 11,157 as it relates to pay for hazardous duty on December 6, 1984, Executive Order 12,495 establishing an emergency board to investigate a dispute between Port Authority Trans-Hudson Corporation and the Brotherhood of Railroad Signalmen on December 21, 1984, Executive Order 12,496, adjustments of certain rates of pay and allowances on December 28, 1984, Executive Order 12,497, President's Advisory Committee on Mediation and Conciliation on December 29, 1984.
Thank you.
Pauline's Pizza,
Email.
where we deliver happiness one slice at a time. What's your craving today?
Yeah, hi. Is Seymour there?
Oh, Seymour. I think he might be busy making our special pies. But hey, why not swing by the pizzeria? We've got a pie with your name on it. Anything else I can help you with?
I was looking for Seymour Butts.
Ah, I see. Well, if you're looking for Seymour Butts, he might be hiding behind a pepperoni slice. Anything else I can do for you today?
No, that's it.
I'm Terrence, a marketing professional with a passion for helping your business grow smarter and faster. Here at DaBomb Digital Media, based right here in Atlanta, Georgia, we specialize in bringing your vision to life. Whether you're launching your first website or reimagining your entire digital presence, we've got you covered. From modern website design and search engine optimization to setting up your own AI-powered agency tools, we deliver innovative solutions that keep you ahead of the curve. Ready to unlock your business's full potential? Let's build something remarkable together. For more information, visit our YouTube channel. Just search DaBomb Digital Media on YouTube and start exploring tips, success stories, and everything you need to elevate your brand.
Now let's talk about 1984, a year that defined more than just a presidency. It defined an ideology, a tone, a story that Ronald Reagan told this country, one of renewed strength, simple pride, and unshakable confidence. And look, I'll say it, the story resonated with millions of Americans. Reagan was at the peak of his popularity. The economy was booming, or at least parts of it were. Inflation had cooled. The stock market climbed. Jobs were coming back, though unevenly. And at the center of it all was a man who promised smaller government, stronger defense, and less interference in the daily lives of citizens. But here's what history demands we ask. Who gained the most? And who was left out? In 1984, Reagan signed dozens of executive orders that touched nearly every corner of American life, from military courts to women-owned businesses, from trade to telecommunications, from hazardous duty pay to space policy. Some of those actions built up our national posture, like the National Commission on Space, a forward-thinking body that tried to channel American exceptionalism into the stars. Others restructured military legal systems through manual revisions for courts-martial, keeping us agile in Cold War posture. Then there were moves like EO 12479, Reagan's push for management reform in the federal government. That order helped consolidate power in agency heads, cut through red tape, and reinforced his belief that government isn't the solution, it's the problem. But let's be honest, not all of these orders helped the American worker. In fact, many executive actions from that year reflected the administration's sharp turn away from labor protections. Orders were used to break or investigate railway union disputes. Advisory boards once used to mediate and conciliate with workers were either stripped down or redirected. The long-standing tug-of-war between organized labor and corporate freedom tilted heavily toward the latter in 1984. And while tax cuts and deregulation gave Wall Street and multinational firms a runway to soar, many working families, especially in inner cities, rural towns, and communities of color, were still playing catch-up. Now internationally, Reagan's executive directives extended American influence abroad. He signed orders around Euratom nuclear cooperation, export controls, and East-West foreign trade reporting. These weren't just technical moves. They were strategic levers in a Cold War that was still burning under the surface. And then there's the cultural front. One order that year reaffirmed support for the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities. That might seem like a footnote, but let me tell you, soft power matters. In a year when the Soviet Union boycotted the Olympics, we had to tell our story through athletes, artists, and ambassadors alike. But behind all the executive polish, the glitter of Morning in America ads, and the echoes of a landslide re-election, there was a truth that still matters today. Policies aren't just about pride, they're about people. Every one of Reagan's executive orders, whether it empowered an agency, disbanded a committee, adjusted a pay scale, or restructured federal authority, had real-world consequences. Some streamlined government. Some shrank it beyond its ability to serve. Some projected strength. Others obscured accountability. Some gave hope. Some quietly widened gaps in equity. And that's why we're here tonight. To look back, not with nostalgia or blame, but with clarity. So, as we now shift into a close examination of the top 10 executive orders of 1984, remember this. Executive orders are not just political tools. They are presidential fingerprints, proof of what a commander-in-chief chooses to build, break, or protect without a single vote in Congress. Let's take a closer look at the 10 that defined that consequential year. A year immortalized by literature, but in our American story, it was something very real, a pivotal year. A year when the United States stood at the crossroads of past fears and future dreams. And at the center of it all, President Ronald Reagan, fresh off a wave of national pride, economic recovery, and global assertiveness. Now, I won't lie to you, Reagan's America in 1984 was strong, at least in appearance. The economy was roaring. Inflation was down. Unemployment had started to drop. The man projected confidence. Morning in America, as they called it. But behind the slogans and stock market climbs, real shifts were happening through executive actions, quiet signatures, and memos that would shape our government for generations. Let's unpack that. In 1984, President Reagan signed a wave of executive orders, each one a small piece of his broader vision. Some of those orders fortified national defense. Some reimagined how government should serve or step back from its citizens. Some were technical, others were transformative. And let me be clear, these weren't just administrative tasks. These were presidential decisions with real-world consequences. Let's take a closer look at 10 of the most important executive orders of 1984 and what they meant then and what they mean now. Number 1 was Executive Order 12,479, Management Reform in the Federal Government, signed on May 24th. It stripped away oversight in favor of performance metrics, lean government, efficient delivery. That was the promise. Today, its legacy is mixed. We saw echoes of this in Clinton's Reinventing Government initiative and even in Bush's Homeland Security consolidation, but we also saw transparency weaken, fewer checks, fewer balances. The public deserves both efficiency and accountability. Number 2 came on April 3rd, EO1-2472, which assigned national security and emergency telecommunications functions. Now remember, this was Cold War America. We were one miscommunication away from catastrophe. This order gave the federal government the power to ensure critical communications stayed open in an emergency. Fast forward to the digital age, this order laid the groundwork for everything from FEMA's emergency systems to cybersecurity frameworks that protect us now. Number 3, Executive Order 12,490, signed October 12th, established the National Commission on Space. This was Reagan aiming high, literally. He wanted a long-term vision for America's place beyond Earth. That vision continues today in the Artemis program, our partnerships with SpaceX and Blue Origin, and the Moon to Mars roadmap. We owe that spark to this executive decision. Number 4, Executive Order 12,473, released April 13th, was an overhaul of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It modernized courts-martial procedures, adapting our military legal system to the times. It's still used, still referenced, still a foundation for how we balance justice and discipline in our armed forces. Number 5, Executive Order 12,483, adjusted the generalized system of preferences, giving developing nations a leg up in trade. That year, Reagan used trade to build alliances, not just economies. Today, we still grapple with the balance of fair trade and economic leverage, but this order helped define our strategy toward the global South. Number 6, this one matters to me personally, Executive Order 12,482, signed June 21st, created the President's Advisory Committee on Women's Business Ownership. It was an acknowledgement that women were not just homemakers or workers. They were owners, leaders, builders. Today, we see that legacy in SBA programs, federal contracting set-asides, and a generation of women CEOs. Number 7, Executive Order 12,458 gave the Secretary of State broader power over foreign aid. It was a delegation of authority aligned with Reagan's doctrine. Fight communism abroad, support allies with dollars. That structure still influences how USAID and the State Department coordinate efforts today in Ukraine, Africa, and Latin America. Number 8, Executive Order 12,494, amended hazardous duty pay for federal workers. It sounds small, but it meant a lot to those in dangerous roles, military and civilian alike. Today, it remains a benchmark for compensation policies in dangerous jobs, including during pandemics and disaster recovery. Number 9, Executive Order 12,475 implemented the Textile Import Program. This was part of Reagan's America First push before the term was fashionable, protecting domestic manufacturing. Its echoes are seen in debates over tariffs, NAFTA replacements, and the push to bring jobs back to American soil. And number 10, Executive Order 12,469, signed March 26th, required a detailed East-West foreign trade report. It was designed to monitor economic activity with the Soviet bloc. Today, it's part of the lineage that informs how we track, report, and sanction economic activity with authoritarian regimes. Russia, North Korea, you name it. So here's the takeaway. In 1984, Ronald Reagan used his pen not just to direct departments, but to define the world he wanted to build, a world of controlled government, empowered defense, global positioning, and economic alliances built on American terms. Some of those visions lifted this country. Others left people behind, workers, unions, entire communities. But all of them shaped the world we live in today. And as we close out this reflection on 1984, know this. The next segment will walk you through each of these top 10 executive orders in detail, how they were built, how they played out, and how they continue to matter. History doesn't end with a signature. It lives on in how we govern today.
Some write history with blood, some with laws, but the sharpest stroke comes from the pen. Executive power ain't just a tool, it's a weapon wielded by the few, affecting the many. They sign it, we live it. They order it, we obey it. Here, watching, digging, remembering, from the plantation to the proclamation, from internment camps to civil rights stands, from surveillance laws to student loan draws. Order can change your life, and you might not even know it, but now you do. So stay locked in, stay woke, stay sharp. We ain't just talking about power, we tracking it. Executive Order Watch, and we ain't blinking.